Good morning. I got your question and I thought I would try to work it out with you. Um, Trying to use my word pad. So the question that you asked me, you'll have to excuse me. It's going to take me, first of all, I have a sore throat. And second of all, I'm going to have to type in the equations. So the one you told me was the square root of 3 plus 2y. So square root of 3, plus 2y all squared. Well, that's not quite right, but it's close to what you mean. The first thing I have to remember is that something squared, like 3 squared or 4 squared, means that number times itself. So 3 times 3 or 4 times 4. So in this case, I would need to write that square root of 3 plus 2y. Let me see if I can just copy it. Twice. And have it multiplied by itself. So that's how it would look. So instead of having something squared, I would have it times itself. And then I would use FOIL to multiply the things together. So the F part of FOIL would be the first things being multiplied. So I'd multiply the square root of 3 times the square root of 3, and that would give me the square root of 9. Insert equation. So this next step is going to be the square root of 3. That does it. 3 times the square root of 3. And then the O part of that would be the outer one. So the square root of 3 times this 2y. None of those are like terms, and so that's just going to be 2y times the square root of 3. And then the I part of FOIL is the inner, and I'm going to get another 2y times the square root of 3. Sorry about my cold. And then last part of FOIL, the L part is last, so it's this 2y, the last term in this parentheses, times this 2y, the last term's in this parentheses. So that's going to be 2y times 2y. All right, then I'm going to actually simplify that. So the square root of 3 times the square root of 3 is the square root of 9, which will simplify that in the next step. I know it's 3. And then 2y square root of 3 plus 2y square root of 3 is going to be 4y square root of 3, because those are like terms. All their variables are the same, and I can add their constants together. And then plus 2y times 2y is going to be, why did that go away? y squared is going to be what that is. Equation tools. Sorry. Y squared. And really the only thing I can do now is simplify that square root of 9 into a 3. And so my final answer, let me copy that. It's going to be, instead of a square root of 9 here, I'm just going to have a 3. I can actually take that square root and get rid of the symbol, and that's my final answer. I could write it in the opposite order, 4y squared plus 4y root 3 plus 3, but it should take any one of those answers. I hope that helps.